If you go your way and I'll go mine. Are we so? Alright, I don't know what's going on here. Messing around with the new setup. If you go your way and I'll go mine. Are we so helpless against the time? Ah! Baby, every dog on the street knows we're in love with defeat. Hey, is it running? This new process is really different. If you go your way and I'll go mine. Yeah, it is? Cool. All right, it's kind of weird going through the new OBS and YouTube at the same time. Hang on. Baby, every dog on the street knows we're in love with defeat. Right, cool. I wish I had music playing for you, but I don't have a sound card. And I gotta make a cup of coffee yet. So the update is I had to confirm my warranty on my brand new machine. That took 2 days. And then finally support said, okay, good, we can confirm your warranty. It's good for another year. Oh, I know. So we can't help you. Call this 800 number. I'm like, you son of a... Could have just called that. Anyways, Acer's trying to lose my confidence in them. But anyways, let me get a cup of coffee, talk amongst yourselves, and we'll. I still got 90 seconds, I guess. That looks kind of funky monkey. Yeah, I probably shouldn't drink this one. So give me a couple of minutes to fire up the cappuccino, and we'll begin. Yeah, boy! Maybe I'll manually play some music. How about that? Are you ready to be swept? and stop chasing every breaking wave.
Shouldn't be here 'cause I should be there. If you go your way and I go mine, are we so helpless against the tide? Baby, every dog on the streets knows that we're in love with defeat. Are we ready to be swept off our feet and stop chasing every breaking wave? Every sailor knows that the sea is a friend made enemy, and every shipwrecked soul knows what it's like to live out into the sea. I thought I heard the captain's voice. It's hard to listen while you preach, like every broken wave on the shore. This is as far as I could reach.
If you go your way, I'll go mine. Are we so helpless against the tide? You guys ready? Love with defeat.
Are we ready to be swept off our feet and stop chasing every breaking wave?
You know that we fear to win, so we fail before we begin. All right. Let me see. I got all my stuff together. Everything is still discombobulated. All right. Let's get this together. Download speed 616 megabits per second. That's good enough for YouTube. All right. And 3, 2, 1. G'day, mate. Cool, look at that. The Razer mic is held on all sources. That's good news. Let me remind you that trading's risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Okay. See, I'm not sure if this is streaming properly. This is kind of weirdo. This is weirdo. Let me refresh this other page. I think this is just doing... Oh, no. Okay. No. Okay. All right. So, welcome. It's a Wednesday. That means oil inventories day, Canadian dollar day. Good to see you. Ni hao ma, jumbo, namaste. So, yeah, Wednesday. Oil inventories day, very interesting because we're watching, if you've been watching WTI, it's up on high and trying to make a decision. I mean, a lot of the currencies are trying to make decisions of where they want to go the next 6 weeks. So, you know, one of those leading indicators would probably be oil. So we'll pay attention to that today. At 10:30, I think it is, oil inventories are released, so you can see where we are versus the 5-year or higher historic norm for inventories. But more interesting is if we can figure out the demand side of the equation, the demand dynamics on top of that supply that comes out today. Could be very interesting. So I'm looking forward to the trading day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a subscriber of Forex.Today. 15,000 foreign exchange traders interested in things like technical and fundamental analysis, and and maybe oil inventories if you want to do demand and supply dynamic equation analysis, whatever. So please ask questions, get involved. I'll do my best to address your questions if you want me to talk about a particular currency pair or asset class. It could be gold, it could be oil, it could be Bitcoin, it could be a yen pair, a dollar pair, a Swissy pair, maybe it's an Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar, so on and so forth, Great British Pound, European Euro. I'll do my best to address all the pairs. Wow, I'm too close to this. So anyways, I'll do my best to keep you happy because you're my sweet baby and I care about you. Also, the sponsor of the Forex.Today YouTube community is tradersway.com. Please visit tradersway.com and download a demo. How do you do that? You go to the homepage, tradersway.com. On the right-hand side, it says open up a demo account. Click that, boom. It's a form. It's like, would ya, oh, would ya, and you go, blah, 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 and then, like, no joke, 12 seconds. You're in your back office. You're like, oh my God, it's so clean and organized. I love it here. And then you're like, download MT4 or MT5. You can have an ECN account. You can have a fixed spread account, or you can have a variable spread account. I like the variable, right? The VAR. So anyways, you can get that and then play some demo trades. You'll see the execution speed is fast. You'll see the spreads are narrow. You see the swaps are huge. And if you ever need it, world-class customer service, red carpet, butler treatment. The butler has white gloves. And guess what the butler does? It draws you a warm bath when you're cold, pours you a cup of tea, and gives you fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. That's what it feels like to be a customer of tradersway.com. So give them an opportunity to earn your loyalty and respect. Boom. Wayne, if 2 hurricanes hit the United States, will dollar go strong? Maybe. You have to ask yourself why. Okay? Don't associate it news with a response in the currency. Think of the response of the economy to the, oh, it's not here. Or do you hear me? Razor mic, you do hear me. There's like a huge list of things on here now. All right, so don't associate like a hurricane with dollar strength. Think of it as what is the hurricane expected to do, and how will that impact the U.S. economy, if at all? Is it bad enough, like it takes out Florida, but like what about the other 49 states, right? So like if it doesn't change the direction of the flow of money globally, then it's probably not a giant foreign exchange issue. Maybe it's a humanitarian issue, but so on and so forth. Now so again, don't think like hurricane dollar strength. I want you to think of, and maybe we can do this. Why don't we do this now? Let's just do it. Okay, cool. All right, let's do this. I got to open a browser so I can browse. I like to browse. New window. It's amazing how poor Windows works in a brand new machine out of the box. So that every time I click open window, it doesn't open a new window from the start menu. It's amazing how bad it is. National Hurricane Center. Okay, so this is what I watch. Active storms. I don't know if it's going to show us. That's the only one. Um, there's one that goes further out, what I like, and it's wind history, I guess. All right. So this is some of the data. And by the way, if you were hanging with me, I used to do something called Forex Television. I was a regular contributor to Forex Television. Did anyone watch that back in the day? Oh, and I still didn't do this. I still haven't downloaded the drawing tool. Yeah, Jim. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, Jim's been around long enough for that. And anyways, if you look at that, and that must have been, I don't know, Jim, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Anyways, if you had seen some of that 12 years ago, I mean, I did a regular, almost weekly. I think it was weekly. Anyways, I used to do a regular segment there, and in the background, I have like 18 screens. And on one of the screens, you'll see an image that looks like this. 12 years ago, I was doing this. Okay? So I'm just making a point. This isn't something I just picked up. Okay? All right. So, and let's see if I can actually... Oh, let me just... I got to get... Epic Pen, I think it's called. Epic Pen. Epic. Oh, Epic Pen. Plug-in blocked. Epic Pen. What if I do it that way? Epic hyphen pen. That sucks. Connection is not private. What? Hang on, let me get this Epic Pen going. So anyways, I'm actually kind of concerned now. So I have sound card problems, I have Bluetooth problems, and now when I try to open up browsers, it just doesn't open a new one. Like, how many problems can you have with a brand new machine? You guys ever have problems like that? You buy a brand new machine and it just doesn't work. Weird, right? Yeah. I don't blame the machine, I blame Windows. But why is Bill Gates still like one of the richest people in the world? Like, there's no innovation at Microsoft at all. Anyways, okay. Let's do this. I got a color here. All right, cool. So we want to pay attention to actually this area here that just happens to be highlighted. Okay, right? The Caribbean. And in particular, we want to know, so this one's going right over, okay? So typically what will happen is if the hurricane comes in low, so you got to go farther out between Africa and South America, and you're watching the hurricane, and if it's coming in low, it's going to hit Central America and then get pushed up, okay? Or if it comes in towards the Bahamas, north of, right? So here's the Eastern Caribbean, okay? Look, I'm right on top of Guadalupe. Cool. Work your way up, and then, so if it's above these islands, it's going to hit the Bahamas and turn up, okay? Now, instead of just thinking buy dollar because of a hurricane, that's way too simplified, and I don't think that will ever work. If you're coming in low, oops, wrong color. Let's do this, gray. If it comes in low, it's going to hit land to get pushed up. And what lives out here? What lives in that area? Oil rigs. So instead of just saying hurricane by dollar, no. First of all, it's only going to matter to maybe Texas, maybe Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and maybe Florida. And the rest of the country, no. Okay? So anyways, think of it more like what's going to be the impact of the hurricane. So it's coming in low. You should buy oil. Okay? Now, if it's coming in high, it might hit this area. And what happens there? What lives there? Wouldn't be sell, Jimmy. Frozen concentrated orange juice. Yeah, Jim's like, buy it. Had to be one, right? Yeah. So that's how you play a hurricane. Now, ideally, you're watching it way, way out, like out in this area. So let's say this is your area of opportunity, and your AO, and you're watching the hurricanes. Are they coming in low? Or are they coming in high? Okay. Now, Daniel says, oh, it will affect. No, maybe. Here's the play, though. I want you to think differently than it will do this or will not do that. Okay. Where does CNN start to cover the story? This is where CNN lives. So if you're out here and you're like, ooh, it's coming in high, right? That's when you can corner the market on frozen concentrated orange juice. If it's coming in low, you can corner the market on oil. Because by the time CNN covers it, they'll start reporting it and people will start reacting. And then it might not actually hit oil, but you made money on it. It may not actually hit Florida, but you'll make money on it. You'll also, if it's coming in high, you might want to think Home Depot. And Lowe's. Okay? Okay? So yes, there are frozen concentrated orange juice futures. Do you guys remember the movie Trading Places? Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy? It was the Dukes! It was the Dukes! They were cornering the market on frozen concentrated orange juice based on a falsified crops report, the NFP of FCOJ. Okay? Cool, right? Hey, can I ask you for a thumbs up? Is that too much to ask? Could I get a little thumbs up? Can you please tell YouTube this is quality content? Billy Ray's a preacher's son. She came around with a room. Cool. So what do you want me to cover next? Okay, let's do some commodities. Here we got gold, oil, silver, Bitcoin, whatever you want. Okay. Let's start with Bitcoin here. This is what we did yesterday. And if you recall, we were looking at places of if it were to bounce, where would it bounce? Okay. And this is based off of the, out of position, ride the 4-hour 21 model. And it's supposed to hit the target on Tuesday, which it did. And now we're trying to figure out, will there be a counter trend trade? Okay. So you got to, I have to find the, okay. So anyways, we got to watch this area. Okay. So if I was a bear, I would not sell. And if I was a bull, I wouldn't buy yet. Okay. But we are on key prices. Okay. Okay. WTI, we're bulls on this. Okay. Look at the prices that I pulled out for you guys. Look at that, huh? You're welcome. Okay. So going back to last week, we said this was a monthly buy. Let's clear this out. We said this was a good buy. This was this, right? There's the Friday front run. Here's the Monday. So we knew this last week, by the way. And I'll say it again and again and again and again. But if you didn't know this last week, there's a huge, massive gap in your analysis. Okay? Huge, right? Huge, huge. So anyways, this is sort of like let it run kind of time. And if you look at the price action here, the reason we have this gray area, check it out. There used to be resistance. It's now support. We call that a role reversal. Very, very, very basic price action. Okay. Okay. And I'd have to back out a little further. You should remember it from yesterday. Okay, see? What used to be resistance is now support. What used to be, right? Resistance is now support. What used to be resistance is now support, so on and so forth. Very, very basic. Now, remember, if you're new to this, let me kind of confirm something. This doesn't tell you it will go up. There's nothing that tells you that except fundamentals, and even then, it's usually a timing issue. That's why we use technical analysis. But it tells you if you think it's going to go up, these are the price zones you should be interested in buying. It doesn't tell you to buy. It tells you if you're a buyer. See the difference? Like imagine a trading pit, since we talked about trading places today. If you're in a trading pit, you don't walk in to try to figure out if you're going to buy or sell. You already have your orders on the back of your card. You have your buy orders and you have your sell orders. I think the problem with many newer traders and amateur traders is you walk into this market and you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do today, but I'm going to figure it out. That is a death sentence. There's no way that works. I don't know what's going to happen today, but I'm going to figure it out. Okay? That means your trading is random in a market that there's enough variables that it might seem random at times. And so your randomness with the market's randomness leads to a mathematical equation which is improbable that you're going to be successful over long periods of time. Okay? Even blackjack is what? 49% in your, to you and 51% to the house. And if you know how to play blackjack, you're probably not behaving randomly. Double down on a 2-3. What? Right? You're playing under the sort of basic rules of engagement. So in Forex, you should know some of these things as well. But my point is, if last week, which is basic technical analysis, you said, okay, I'm a bull, you knew this price and you knew this price, days in advance. So you had to be a bull. So you decided to take a front run, or you didn't, or you waited to the open and it came back and it gave you a perfect entry, which it did. So now you're long. Okay, breakout. Soon as it breaks out, what have I taught you a million times? Set the role reversal. There it is. Okay, now we're farting around here. Why? Well, I told you if you look over here, the reason why is just over there. So you set the role reversal. Okay, and now if you can get it higher like this, you would set the role reversal again. However, there's a problem. Well, not a problem. There's a concern. What's the concern of one more step up? Oh, Romania. Daniel was born in Romania, huh? Love to visit Romania. And Bulgaria as well. And where else? What else is in that? I mean, I guess you could spend a lot of time going. I can see going up and to the left. Is that right? Yeah. Profit zone. Thank you. Gary's right. This based on your, let's say, your swing. Okay. This is your trade of the week. Your trade of the week is very, very simple. Okay. You bought it here on Friday or you bought it here on Monday, and your expected take profit back then was up here. So you're up there now, and now you're just interested in buying, F you. That's not how it works. Okay? This is where bulls are taking some profit, or all of their profit. Now, going back to the swing idea, which swing? Is it an intraday? Is it a daily? Is it a weekly? Is it a monthly? It's all the same to me, right? One is a position. One I just call a swing trade. There's day trade. There's session trades. Like, which one is it? What is your plan, Stan? And that's what dictates whether you hold on or not. But you certainly don't add there. And even if it goes up, it doesn't matter. Irrelevant. Okay? Irrelevant. This is the worst place on this chart to add. So now, if you're like, oh my God, it just jumped. It just jumped. So what? Where were you back here when it was easy? Okay? We got several people in Romania? Man, we got to get together. We got to do a Romanian Forex event. Yeah. Hey, man. That's a lot. Yeah, very old part of the world. I'd be very interested in the history, and I mean even pre-Christian history would be very interesting study there. What, Poland? Well, I would visit Poland. Yeah, there's some great places to visit. pulling. All right. So, and we had someone ask for nat gas. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 up. Well, the buys have been lower typically, but okay. I want you to use price action. Okay. Looks like the 55's the one in control. But so you have two choices in the sense that maybe the 21 is in control now and it's speeding up, or it heads down next week and then you buy it there later. So you can see there's typically one big trade of the week. Okay. And the interesting thing is it's been later and later in the week, right? It's kind of interesting. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I don't know. Make sense? You know that we fear to win, so we fail before we begin. Before we begin. So there's your nat. Natty, ratty tatty natty. Natty disasty. Okay. So this is the big moment of truth. Breakout pullback or not breakout pullback. So I'm going to remark my territory. Okay. And we are in an AO, an area of opportunity. If you are a foreigner, they will treat you fine. What do you mean by that? Other people aren't treated fine? I thought we... Oh, if you're a bull, you wait. Okay? Lay low. That's it. If you're a gold, you wait. There's nothing bullish about this. It's the wrong price. It's the wrong time. For gold, is it a good time to go short? Watch the video from yesterday. I broke this down step by step by step. So if you're not sure, you need to do better homework. Go back and watch yesterday's video. I'd also recommend you do the training courses, because if this isn't enough information, you need to learn. You need to learn way more than you need to trade. Think of it this way, guys. If you don't know how to trade, you're going to lose money. So the money is going to be departing from your net worth. It's going to be departing from your trading account. It's going to be departing from your wallet. Money will leave you. So you should choose. You can go out to a driving range and hit $10,000 worth of golf balls into the woods and still suck because you're still making all the bad mistakes. In fact, you're training yourself how to make the mistakes, right? Over and over and over again. You're doing lots of the wrong things. Of course, that's going to drive you mad and probably bankrupt. Or you can take some lessons from someone that's not only been golfing for years, but has been coaching people for years. And it's also a guaranteed loss of money. You will insert a credit card, net worth will be removed from you, but at least you'll be gaining a skill. So you're throwing the money into the garbage anyways. So you should choose to invest it into your education instead of just throwing it into the market and giving it to rich people. Because there are Well, if you look at this, it's hedge funds, it's central banks, it's all these things going on. Generally speaking, it's for the wealthy people. So you're just throwing your money and handing it to a wealthy individual. So choose one way or the other. You're going to have to decide: trade your money away or invest your money into education. Because like, if you don't know these things, like it's such a glaring, and I'm not trying to insult you, by the way, because I think there's other people in this chat too, where you're like, hey man, so should I be buying this now? They're rolling their eyes like, oh my God, right? That's what other people are. But here's the thing. Now, if we look at this as an aggregate, as traders, because we know how to make these decisions properly, in this situation, there'll always be someone that will take the other side of your trade. They're going to lose. You're going to make money, and their net worth is transferred to your net worth. So there'll always be someone that makes a bad decision every time you make a good decision. Okay? Now, luckily, these big, large institutions, many of them, they're not looking at it like through a microscope like most of you guys are, where you're worried about the next 10 or 20 or 30 pips. Now, the next 10 or 20, 30 pips are interesting because there are lots of orders around, right? But as far as where, like, there are other participants in the market that are looking at this more like an investor would. They want to be in it till the end of the year. And you're interested in the next, 27 minutes. So there's a discrepancy, right? The macro versus the micro. And that sort of difference is where you can kind of chip away, make a living. Okay? You're chipping away at the bigger positions. And, it's sort of like the water buffalo swats the flies away with his tail, right? Or maybe you're the little bird sitting on the back of the water buffalo, I don't know, and you're eating flies. I don't know. The analogy is there. The big water buffalo barely even knows you exist. And if they don't like you, they just swat you away. Okay? Now, wouldn't it be interesting if you could harness the power of that buffalo and strap a plow to its back and start farming? Okay? That would be interesting. So anyways, get the knowledge. You're going to need to get the knowledge. Okay? So the reason this is popping is 1900. And of course, it can go up there. So for everyone that said, can it be bullish? Oh yeah, it can be bullish, especially off a psych level. But as far as if you're going to use technical analysis, then your price might be right, but based on technical analysis, your timing is wrong. You're assuming too much risk. Now, if you're purely fundamental, you would just say, yeah, buy it at 1900 and buy some more at 1800 and buy some more at 1700. What do you care? You're analyzing this and you're like, well, over the next 5 years, you believe the US dollar will weaken. Well, that's awesome. So fundamentally, as gold drops, you're going to buy some more gold. Why? Because you think in 5 years, gold will be at 3,000, not 2,000. So if you can pick it up at 1,900, great. But you're not watching the chart, so what prices would you randomly come up with? You're like, you should buy it at 1,922. That's your fundamental play? No, you'd say, no, I'd buy some at 19. And then I'd buy some at maybe 18. And then I'd buy some at 17. Okay? That's how George Soros would do it. And he knows, well, even if he loses money for the next 6 months, first of all, he owns gold. So he's losing money, but he owns gold. Okay? But in 5 years, it's going to be worth $1,000, and because he's buying it down, $1,300 more per ounce. Okay? You see? So George Soros, see what I drew here? George Soros is saying, yeah, I'll buy some here. I'll buy some here. I'll buy some here. You'll probably buy some here. Right? And someone like that, a fundamental player, would buy it like this. And they're looking at what? The economy, right? The Fed, trade, inflation, growth, okay? And opportunity, meaning the opportunity, like opportunity cost, right? If there's no other place to put your money besides the stock market and gold, some people might say, well, I'm already in the stock market, so give me some gold, right? So, and they're looking at all of this. They don't give a crap that we're, about your, or let's say our 100 pip point of view. I know we're talking about gold, but it's the same thing. Like if we're talking about what might happen today, George Soros doesn't give a crap what happens today. Or this week. This month is irrelevant. You understand? So now you have to find so that might be correct on a long term, but it may be inefficient. Because if you did technical analysis, you could say, well, just wait for it to come down to another $100 and then buy it or something like that, right? Or don't buy it until it moves its way back up. But they don't watch it that way, okay? But here's the part that I find when I meet a new currency trader. They're only thinking these small moves, and they're not thinking like George Soros, the bigger move, the play that's going to last years, not minutes. And what I'm trying to teach you is they're both correct. And I want you to understand both. Because I think you will be a boss. Like, if you understand both of these players, wow, that's what I want. Okay? That's what I want for you. That's what I want for me, right? I want the unified theory of trading, that you're both fundamental and technical. Okay? So can this go up at 19? Yeah. Did I say it's not going to go up at 19? You're like, Wayne said it was going to go down. That's not what I said at all. I'm talking about technical analysis. I'm telling you what the charts tell me. Okay? So yes, we got a psych level, or right, not this one, that's the next one. Okay, the psych level's here. Okay, cool. Right now, the market is not bullish. So you should not be buying. Okay, if it turns bullish, then you have permission to buy dips. But you don't buy dips in a downtrend. Okay? So if you're thinking weeks or months, you can let this one go until it becomes bullish. See, if it was so bullish, then you'd be buying this here, and you'd be in a much better situation risk-wise. Okay? It's not about being right. Okay? Because even a degenerate gambler that guesses can be right on the short run. Okay? What matters is the risk associated with your trading. So if George Soros says this is going to go up for years, then why do you have to buy it when it's bearish? Why can't you wait? Because you're so good on the short term, why don't you wait for it to turn bullish on the daily charts? Not daily, like day trading, right? You might get bullish day trading opportunities, and then bullish weekly, and then bullish position, and now you're a golden girl. Okay? Now you're bullish on multiple time frames with central bankers and George Soros backing you up, pushing this thing higher for you. Do you understand? You don't have, it's not about being right. It's about the risk associated with your trades. Yeah, see, these are problems. It's not really bullish. It's not really bearish. Smells like a hesitation to me. If you go your way and I'll go mine. A whistle. So this is at the right price. So now I would follow silver a little bit more closely. But, well, it was at the right price. So now you got to get a pattern. You got to get the price action to be bullish. It's still not bullish price action. Peter says, is our harmonics? Doesn't matter. Ignore it. You don't need to know that. Don't get sidetracked. All you need is price action, right? And what is price action? Support and resistance. That's it. Don't complicate it, right, Peter? I know what you're saying, and you're not wrong. I'm just saying delete it. Well, Beta says in pivot points. Well, pivot points are support and resistance of the market. And price action is support and resistance of the price. So that's where it starts, huh? So it doesn't matter how you measure it as long as you're measuring it. So like, let's go out to here. Okay? And you're like, Wayne, I don't like any of this, but I need support and resistance. Okay? That'll work. Here's silver. Okay? Now, I look at this and say, okay, so I got dynamic support and resistance, but there's no leading indicator, right? Unless you're trying to use price action as your leading indicator, which is fine. But it doesn't tell you like the fundamental prices, like what a George Soros would do, like again, buying key, psychological prices, right? So you would measure it just through price action. And it'll probably tickle this and do something, right? So that's how I'd kind of look at silver. This is enough information where you can make a living. Now, I think it lacks targets and stuff, but you could do it. Now, I like pivot points because it gives me entries and exits ahead of time. Like, I can plan next week's buy and next week's exit for profit and next week's exit for loss. Okay? Remember when I was on Bloomberg, one of the things I said is that I use two stop losses, one for profit and one for loss. Because I don't know if I'm going to make money, but I know where I'm going to buy the damn thing. I know where I'm going to put my stop to protect my downside risk. And then I also know where it's supposed to go based on my analysis. See, it's not guess, and I don't know if I'm right. But based on analysis, like, you don't know where it's going? Then why would you buy it if you didn't know it was going up and where it would stop going up? Like, I couldn't imagine trading like that. How frightening, right? So you got to get control of your trading. If you don't know these things, like you don't know where you're going to buy it in 4 days, really? And you don't know where your stop's going to be? Wow, that's scary. And you don't know where it's going? Well, then I'd say to you, like, how do you trade that way? And you're like, well, I'm not very successful. Oh, well, that makes sense, right? So you got to get, right? But you got to find the tools that you find useful. So you might change the tool here. Okay. And now I can show you. Okay. Look at this. That's an entry. That's an exit. Done. Okay. Do you know that it's going to do this? No, of course not. But you know where you'd buy it. By the way, this is a buy zone. 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 That is a buy zone. And next month, this is going to be the new buy zone. I already know, right? That all you had to do was be a bull, and the rest is fairly easy. You know the price, okay? With bias, you know the price, okay? Bias equals price. You know the price in which you will buy if you're a bull, okay? Done. What you don't know is the time. What minute will it give you your entry? I don't know, but you know where you're going to buy. Do you understand that? If you're a bull, you know two things. Okay? One, you know you want to buy. And two, you know you want to buy low. So now you bust out your technical analysis and use any technique you want. Any technique. If you want to do harmonics, do it, but just do it exceptionally well. So under my technique, I say, let's say on this day, I'm like, oh, I want to buy it around that price. Done. 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 So, okay. Now here we are at the end of the month and it's had a big rally. So I say, well, where do I want to buy it? Well, and this is my buy zone. Okay. Comes down, tickle-ick, gone. Done. And what about next month? Yeah, somewhere between here I'm going to buy it. Right? I might buy it today. See, here's the thing. Here's lining up the George Soros with you. You might be in the right price right now, and so you buy when this turns bullish in your humble opinion. So it might do this now. Okay? And on Friday, you're sitting here around $27. And you buy it. Okay? And by the way, I had a lot of questions about yesterday's webinar when I said my target is not price-based, but time-based. Let me give you an example here. Okay? Am I going from, if I'm buying it at 27, do I get out at 27.61? That's price-based. No. If I buy it, okay, what I'm doing is I am buying it here, and I'm buying at a weekly pivot, and I'm buying it at the end of a week, and I'm buying it just like any other time, except I'm not thinking a day chart anymore. I'm not thinking an intraday trade. I'm thinking a position trade. So I would buy it at 27 on Friday or Monday. See, I'm not worried about Wednesday. And if so, I'm taking this up at least to 31. But then I can add seasonality to this and say it's a multi-month strategy. Remember, you're stuck on a 15-minute chart. I might be buying 48 hours from now and holding it for 48 days or 148 days. And it's the same amount of work. Except you took profit and put 50 bucks in your pocket, and I'm going to hold this for 6 months. And I'm going to take it up to 40 or 50. The funny thing is, it's the same amount of work. You and I worked just as hard. You made 50 bucks, and I'll make 500. And we worked the same amount. The only thing is, I had alpha. And I said, oh, no. I'm going to buy a dip after it turns bullish. I'm going to buy a dip, and I'm going to let my winner run. And after about a week, I'm going to move my stop loss to protect the same 50 bucks you took out. You see? I have a question here. Wayne, how would you describe supply and demand strategy and why you can't use both? Of course you can use both. In fact, you should. Okay? Okay? So someone here is looking at silver, and let me show you their thought process. They're going to buy it off that daily 21, and it's going to go up and up and up and up. That's it. So what are you going to do about it? Well, on a smaller time frame now, you're going to have the up, the down, the up, the down, the up, the down, the up, okay? And each one of those probably offers a trade. You could put 100 small trades on this probably over the next 100 days, of which, let's say 66 break even and 33 are big wins. Okay? So in the day trading course, one of the things we talk about right away is the math. Okay? 60% of the time, it works every time. Okay? And 40% you break even. Or small loss. Okay? Now, if your win-loss ratio is 3-to-1, so you on day trades, you're risking 33, but you're going for 99. Okay? The cool thing is you can lose 66% of the time and not lose money. So you have to have good math behind your trading. Okay? If you don't let your winners run, then you'll never pay for your losses, and you have, right? So, I mean, you got to get the math right. You have to have a good business model. Peter says, Wayne, you worked under George Soros, right? No, we were equals. I didn't work for him. I worked with him. I was on a board of directors for a nonprofit organization. But no, we were equals. How do you know it has turned bullish? It's called price action. So you're going to have to learn price action. Okay? You might say this is bullish. No, it's not true. Kraft says you love the name drop. Well, of course, he's the most famous person in our industry, but I don't know. What more can I say? Maybe your last guru also knew him. Where can you learn more about his bias? I don't know. I don't know what his bias is. The most important thing, guys, is learning your bias. Doesn't matter what anyone else's bias is. Okay? No, I don't think he publishes his bias per se. I mean, sometimes he does, but it's media covered and stuff. But I wouldn't make a big thing of it at all. It's what your bias. I'm trying to see. At some point, someone's going to pay you money for your knowledge, and that's because you're offering value. If you're Googling other people's opinions, you don't have any value. Okay? So I'm trying to get you to a point where you think about what you believe the future is going to look like and have some sort of way to show your research behind your thought process, and then be able to have the skill to carry that out. That would be worth money, right? Well, yeah, okay, Kraft. So that's cool. I certainly don't mean to. I mean, obviously, he's the most famous person in our industry, but yeah, okay. I think I do it because I think it has meaning for those that are just like rolling into the live stream, and they're like, "Oh my God, this guy knew George Soros," and maybe the newer people stick around a little longer. Oh, we hit it! We hit it almost exactly on time. 1 hour and 5 minutes. Okay, cool, interesting. Yeah, you hear me, but it just started. Oh my God, my son's outside. My son just walked by. My son is outside. Wow. So, anyways, I don't think you can hear me properly, but at least it's interesting that it happens exactly to the minute at the same time. So, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. And I'll see you tomorrow.